This is The Takeoff, powered by American Airlines, alongside Mark Stabina. I'm Stacey Pates. Another great game for you. AG Rugby, it's their final home match of the season, and fans are in high expectation mode because AG protected the Texas Cup last weekend.
Didn't they do it in spectacular fashion too, Stacey? 28 points to 9 over their frenemies, 4 tries. That was a bonus point win, and they played the territory game perfectly according to head coach Sam Harris's game plan, and still full of running AG, which is great to see because they're known for their defence. It was great to see them on the offensive as well.
And with summer international test matches coming up for Toronto, these guys need to really step up their game because the loss to San Diego didn't help.
They're at the bottom, but they are not done. They have a tough road ahead. Denied a bonus points, which could hurt them in the end. It was a tough game against San Diego. But this team, full of running again. It was a close match, very similar statistics. They just could not quite do the job.
And when you look at these two teams, AG Rugby has never defeated Toronto in 3 attempts.
Can you believe that?
No.
Well, actually, I can believe that. The way that Toronto play does not necessarily reflect their standings. Their statistics prove that they can throw the ball around and they know how to score tries. On average, they are scoring 1 more try per game than AG, and the offloads at 80, nearly twice the amount of AG, suggests that they love to keep the ball in hand and keep it alive. Now, AG is known for their defence, and you can see that too with their dominant tackles. Not just that they make tackles, but they really make their tackles count and make it difficult for the opposition to get going. Twice the amount of dominant tackles for the season in favour of AG. They'll be looking to do the same tonight.
They will, especially in front of their faithful fans. So who do we need to keep an eye on in this matchup tonight?
Keep an eye on the back rows. It's a battle of the back row. AG has a great back row. Akina, Breitenbach, and also Jones. Really effective when they get the ball in hand. They've got speed. They can do some damage. They're just not doing it often enough as compared to these guys. The Toronto back row are one of the busiest in the league, and they can be devastating. They might not be running as far with the ball, but they are running more often and really lifting their team and getting them going forward. Who will overcome the other back row tonight?
Well, we're going to hear more from Dan Power and Brian Hightower after this break. Those guys are going to bring us all the action. For now, Mark and I say thank you for hanging out with us on this American Airlines Takeoff, and we'll be back with you at halftime.
And David Still, your head coach is Sam Harris, assisted by Mark Gerard.
Today's presentation of Major League Rugby is brought to you by American Airlines, the official airline and travel partner of Major League Rugby. Geico, where 15 minutes can save you 50% or more on car insurance. And Guaranteed Rate. You can make your dream home happen. Get started at rate.com today. Welcome to Bolt Stadium in Austin, Texas. Week 13 of Major League Rugby sees the Austin AGs taking on the Toronto Arrows. Right here on Fox Sports. Good evening, folks. Dan Power with you alongside former USA Eagle Brian Hightower. And Brian, both these sides, well, I feel like this is becoming the rhetoric here. Another must-win. Toronto, a very windy road to the playoffs for them. For Austin, it's pretty simple. They need to start winning and winning often.
What a roller coaster ride for the Toronto Arrows. They started the year as a front runner in the Eastern Conference, but then because of the pandemic, they've had to play their entire season 1,000 miles away from home in a different country, in Marietta, Georgia, and it's starting to wear on them. Meanwhile, Austin, they're still the first in the MLR on defense, but they need to start attacking tonight like a playoff contender. Expect them to try to play with quick ball. Expect Toronto to try to slow it down.
Let's take a look at the lineup, starting with the home side, Austin. Some changes in that back line could be the recipe for a disaster here tonight for this attack.
Well, it all starts up front with Jamie McIntosh. I think he's got to go well into the second half and lead from the front. Isaac Ross with some quality minutes, and I like the way McLean Jones plays at open side flanker. Meanwhile, in the backs, for me, Kurt Morath needs to find the fountain of youth tonight. Normally, Mac Mason is there at number 10, but he's been shifted to fullback because of the injury to Will McGee. They've got to open it up. They've got to start attacking and manufacturing tries.
All right, Brian, let's shift our focus over to Toronto now.
Well, you got Jamie McIntosh with the tight head prop and the loose head prop going against him, Gaston Cortez. That is going to be a great battle tonight between those two old veterans, and expect it to be abrasive up front with Mike Shepard in the mix. Meanwhile, Ben Lesage got to have some good line breaks out of Ben. Ross Brody playing better every weekend at scrum half as well. And Joaquin Tucolet at the back, always dangerous for Toronto.
Warm conditions tonight in Austin, Texas. Brian, the benches will be critical.
I think so. And having Hugh Roach for the AGs is massive to bring him off the bench. Quality minutes there. Hopefully he doesn't have to come in an emergency situation. Toronto, look for them to add a little bit of abrasiveness from the bench when the likes of Andrew Quatrin comes on the field. Some new players perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely. Luke Schlottman there on loan from ATL as well. As we take a look at our officials, Luke Rogan will have the whistle in the middle, assisted by Cat Roach. And a special shout out to Butch Newitschwander. It's his last game on the sideline tonight for Major League Rugby. 30 plus years in rugby in the US, 24 years serving in the US Navy, and he has his swan song here tonight in his hometown of Austin, Texas. As we are underway here at Bolt Stadium for week 13, a big clash here for both these sides, East versus West, Toronto versus Austin. And it will be the Arrows in their blue and white butcher stripes taking on Austin in their orange. The traditional burnt orange of Austin, made famous by University of Texas, the Longhorns. Toronto, good exit, sees them secure position inside here, the Austin half. Brody. Quick service. Comes to the center of the field. Kelly with an early touch. Goes back inside to Rumble. Rumble pleading for a penalty there.
Through the middle, play on.
Still with the Arrows. Jones takes it inside the 40 now of Austin. Touch here for Vikalani, one of the young superstars. Perhaps getting blooded a little earlier this year than they anticipated, but puts them in good stead moving forward.
Mason makes the
Play on.
This one spills back. Sheridan evades the tackle there with Mason.
Well done.
Ivan Paddock eventually brings his opposite number down.
And he says no.
Oh, Gilgronis, beautiful little flick back inside. It's with Toronto. Brody cannot handle inside the 22. As now Austin will clear off the boot all the way down the field. Some enterprising attack there from the Arrows comes undone. Isaiah forced to kick under pressure. Down to Morat. Now with Mason. He's got Halai looming up to his left. Picks up Frank Halai. Now midfield with Akina. There's Cowley. Continues to the right-hand side. McIntosh. An early touch for him. Now Ross. What an addition Isaac Ross has been here for this Austin side. Amidst a lock crisis mid-season, he's been nothing short of outstanding. See with the ball again, quick hands. They've got some numbers. Halai comes wide. Now down with Jones. Jones picks up Kutsi. Robbie Kutsi. He's just short of the 22-meter line. Now Dodson. Grand Canyon University graduate. Still with Austin, midfield, just outside the 22. Looks like they may have an advantage here too for offside. As McIntosh gets another touch. Ryan plays out the back, Morath. Little basketball action to Kutsi. Kutsi with the big dummy as he stumbles into the 22. Now midfield. Oh, the break there from Austin. Pops up, Ryan. Paddy Ryan. Just a metre from the line. Cowley out to the right. They've got numbers. Comes down. Mooneyham. It's electric right winger for Austin. Now Ross inside. Picks up McIntosh again. His third touch in this series of phases. And the turnover on the line.
On their feet, holding on.
We'll get a number who that is over the top. It looks like De La Vega, but Brian, almost 4 minutes there. I didn't even get a breath.
Yeah, fast and furious from the start. Toronto squanders an opportunity, and Austin does the same on the other end of the field. Some great hands from some of the forwards. The penalty here, Thomas De La Vega goes in. He's got rights to the ball. He's over it. Over the top to Halai. And then Kotsi falls on the ground. He had two supporting runners on the inside, but tripped over a blade of grass.
After 4.5 minutes, I'd also like to welcome in our Canadian viewers tuning in on TSN, watching their side. What a year it's been, not only for the Arrows players, but the Arrows fans. Some compassion for them not able to see their team play live in Toronto. Nothing short of amazing, the dedication that the team and the fans have made to the league in 2021. Brody has this ball at the back, will kick. I'll take the penalty instead here.
It's coming back.
Collapsing, number one.
Penalty to Toronto. Coming back to the point of the penalty.
Yeah, the timeout here as McIntosh slow to his feet. It's our Rhino rugby keys to the game, Brian.
Yeah, for Austin, it's about finding that attacking flair, playing quick ball tonight. Mentioned before that they are still first in the MLR on defense, but they've had a difficult time manufacturing tries, line breaks, finishing opportunities. We just saw that in the early minutes of the game. Down on the 5-meter line and still couldn't come away with points. And as far as Toronto goes, 15 of the 23 players on this squad, Dan, born in Canada, and they got to just find some Maple Leaf pride tonight. They've had a hard road in front of them, as we mentioned before, and they just got to play inspired. They know that their families are watching at home. Some heartwarming moments on video this week, watching the players receiving care packages. I mean, the families of the players really, really supporting them from afar.
Hold.
Absolutely outstanding effort from all the Arrows players, staff, supporters, the families also. It's Brody. Continues around this right-hand side. The second trip into the 22 here, this time looking for some points. Offside against Austin. This one right in front of the post. You have to think at this stage of the season, let's see what they elect to do. They're going to take the shot. They're going to take 3 points.
Yeah.
You get the calculator out, Brian. Toronto still in the mix in the East. Like I said, it's a windy road to the playoffs for them.
Yeah, and from what we've seen in the Eastern Conference this year, I mean, it really is anyone's guess still about who is going to take those top spots. Seemed like kind of a reshuffle every weekend. Teams vaulting 3 or 4 spots with a win.
We're welcoming the third member of our team tonight, Jim Knox. Knoxy, long-time fan, first-time caller. How you doing, brother?
Doing great, especially you guys that know are doing better than me, because right now in the field temperature's well over the 100-degree mark. Definitely the heat will be a factor. Now Toronto, they brought a single weapon tonight. Look at this, you go in here and they got car sponges. Keeps you nice and cool right here. One problem though, you dig down there, there's no cold beer. But that's okay, they got car sponges tonight. It's a hot one. Temperature's the key tonight,
Noxie.
guys.
70 minutes and you can go into the other cooler they've got back in the change room.
Why does Noxie look like he's sweating harder than the players on the field right now?
He's the busiest man in Austin. Noxie, we love him. Penalty here against the Arrows. Good looking. Thomas De La Vega there. Mike Shepherd in front of him, an imposing figure. Now a chance here. Austin, no thoughts of evening things up here with 3 points. Morath will go to the corner. You can guarantee that the Austin Brain Trust have got the calculator. They know exactly what they're looking at on the West Coast. They know bonus point wins is what's going to get them into that playoff situation on the West.
Well, and it's not only looking ahead of them in the table in terms of Utah and LA right now, Dan, but it's also looking behind because San Diego is resurgent.
Down the short side now with Cowley. 5 meters out from the line here. Of course, San Diego, Utah play tonight in Harriman, Utah. There's Cowley now.
Don't touch the ruck, off it.
Marshals his forwards to his right. Now Paddy Ryan, another touch. Cowley to his right. Turns Halai back inside.
No, it's not. Stay there.
This is where they've run a foul in the last few weeks, Austin. They get inside the 22 and can't convert. Morath, Campbell.
Not on the ball. Away 7, no. Not on the ball.
Jones. That one spilt forward. Another mistake. Inside Toronto's 22. And you can see only 10 minutes gone, but hands on hips, frustration already inside the Austin can.
And I can't pretend to know what the game plan is, but for me, Austin is playing right into the teeth of this Toronto defense. The ball is coming out of the back of the ruck very slowly. There's one-off runners. They're giving Toronto a chance to launch from the line.
Take your arms off, yeah?
While we have a break, folks, make sure you tune in every Tuesday on Fox Sports to catch Major League Rugby's official TV show, MLR All Access. Stacey Pates, Mark Stabina, they'll cover every moment of the weekend's action in under 30 minutes and highlight all the action you don't want to miss on America's only rugby TV show right here on FS2. Our sympathies go out to Stacey, being stuck inside a studio with Mark Stabina for an entire season. There is no escape. Those walls are just slowly closing in on Stacey. We're with you, Stacey. be a big test. You mentioned this in the lead-up, McIntosh versus Cortez. The front row, quite depleted for Toronto, so much so that they had to call on Luke Schlottman, rugby ATL player that they've got on loan for this weekend.
Yeah, and we may see Luke Schlottman come in. The only American-born player on the Toronto Arrow squad tonight, although he is from New Hampshire. They share a border. It's kind of close.
So not quite Benedict Arnold just yet.
There's going to be two things there. To stay up, I need you to come up. You are way too low. Your head and shoulders are starting to your hips. You need to come up for me. Yeah, both sides. Yeah, he's starting low. I understand, but he's too low.
Robbie Brody here for the Arrows to get this ball into the scrum. We can get a good platform to play from.
Bones! Set!
It's a good push there from Austin. Toronto do well under pressure to clear.
Collapsing.
You will come all the way back for a penalty for collapsing that scrum.
Great outcome here for Austin.
Who's here for the first time tonight? Who's seeing their first rugby match?
I want to say scrum low, but I need
Robbie Dixie on your screen there.
Next season.
When penalty goes against Austin, I thought they had worked Toronto in the scrum.
It's a big win there for Toronto to get that penalty, and now their kick will not find the line. Comes down to Mooneyham.
No, blue!
What a 12 months it's been for young Connor Mooneyham, drafted #1 overall by Dallas.
That's fine, play on.
Finds himself in Austin, gets married, now in the USA Eagles squad, the tour of the United Kingdom with Gary Gold in a few weeks. It's a pretty good 12-month stint, if you ask me, Brian. As they've got numbers to the left. Halai, quick hands, Morath, even quicker. Elan Puttick, he's very close. Very close indeed. Let's have a listen into Luke Rogan. His conversation will be critical here. Well, the retiring Butch Nguyenchwanda, he gives him the green light. It's 5 points on the board for Austin.
Austin opening things up a little bit here. I think it's Dotson who ends up with a chance. He's got numbers on the outside. Great movement there. It's Pele Cowley. Good support there from Mason. And then here's Dotson. He's got numbers outside. He doesn't look to pass to Brayton Bach. That could have cost him. But Kurt Morath, good job getting the ball out to Zinzan Elan Puttick.
Thank you. 30 seconds. Thank you.
All right, he cannot bring this one back. Score remains 5 points to 3 here in Austin.
And here's Dotson. Watch again. Halai on the outside, Brayton Bach on the outside. Can't free the arms. Sets it back. Offload to Campbell. And then Morath. Sneaky little pass around Joaquin Tucalet. Finds the winger.
Kick goes back to Mooneyham. Spills that one backwards inside his 22. Cowley will look to
now, please. No,
exit out of his 22 here.
Pele with the box kick.
Finds the line just on his own 40-metre line here.
To change your direction. If you
Brian
stand there,
tries
just stand there.
hard to come by for Austin.
Line
but going to get on the ball. It was a pretty gritty way to get there, but it's a good start for them to start opening up their wings a little.
And we've seen them throughout the season, Dan. They've had their chances. They've gotten the ball in the right parts of the field, inside their opponent's 22-meter line, and there's been some miscues, lack of execution during crucial moments in the game. Speaking of lack of execution, that throw not going into hand for Toronto.
Austin will look to counter, try scorer. Ilan Padik. Find some value out wide. Now Dodson. A couple of really good runs early on from Cam Dodson. Cowley to Jones. Jones to Halai, little tip ball. Well read by the Arrows. That'll be a penalty.
But you're there and you caused it. He also needs to roll quicker. Yep.
Rumble just caught in the laneway there of Cowley. Could have been a little gamesmanship from the experienced number 9 as well. There is Lucas Rumble. I tell you, Brian, I missed the long hair from Lucas.
Yeah, something almost Viking-esque.
Lucas, I understand, yeah, but you're there and
that long hair and the beard.
Stop their ball. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, Campbell.
Not the turnover, Brian.
Yeah, we've seen since then Ilan Padik line up in a number of different positions for Austin. Great to have quality so far from the number 14.
Lineout's good. Maul is now set as they will drive this ball forward.
Go around,
Coetzee at the back.
Around, no, around.
Oh, now it opens up for Austin. Coetzee. He brings the pod back together here as they push their way to the line. Toronto at 6s and 7s. He dodges it down. Coetzee gets the second try for AG Rugby. And they find themselves up 10 points to 3 after 17 minutes.
That's what you want, interchangeable parts. How many times have we seen Hugh Roach do the same thing this season? And now it's Coetzee gets the start tonight at hooker. You see the number 2 arriving after the throw, and then he'll find the ball. And now it's about finding soft spots in the defense. Working together. Rogan on the spot, ball on the ground, and AG's starting to find a little bit of rhythm. Dan, it all goes back to that miscue from the line out. We talk about Austin's execution during the season, but Toronto, if they want to stay in this game tonight, they've got to execute as well.
No mistakes from Morab. It's now 12 points to 3. 18 and a half in the books here at Bold Stadium. Week 13 of Major League Rugby. Welcome to our fans up in Canada on TSN. Also, fans around the world tuning in on the Rugby Network. 33,000 subscribers strong at the moment, so we appreciate your support. Appreciate you supporting the game. Major League Rugby, leaps and bounds. That one may have gone out on the full. It has. We'll come all the way back for a scrum at midfield.
No, let's keep going. Let's 3 minutes. I've had a word to him about it. Okay, but you're there. I can't not penalise you for kicking a ball. You know, you get it? Into the ball. And I've just spoken to him about it. Let's move off because this is really hard, yeah? Let's move off.
Well,
yeah. So I need
listen in there on the ref mic, and you get the rationale for why Lucas Rumble felt a little aggrieved at the last penalty. He says, I got head rolled into the player with the ball. I wasn't trying to interfere with the number 9.
Come on. Crouch. Bind. Set. Steady here, work.
Scrum goes down, this time again in the favour of Toronto.
Far side collapsing, the side standing up. Far side collapsing. Far side collapsing.
It's 2 penalties in a row at the scrum here for Toronto.
And that is Pat Lynot's side of the scrum for Toronto. Doing good work tonight against Patty Ryan. Watch the far side of the scrum. McIntosh goes up at the tight head spot.
Sure, I will. I just need you to work that straight up. Let's not have the water break
Ryan
now.
goes
They're
down.
on top. I don't want to go water break now. They're on top.
Take it atop there from Rumble. There's Toronto. One collapses. Execution just escaping them early on here.
Let's have a water break, guys.
We will step away and take a short break here from Bolt Stadium after 21 minutes. It's the home side. Austin in control. 12 points to 3 over Toronto.
Rugby ball. Go behind one of those balls. If you can tell me which one that is, you're going to go home with the prize. Sound good? You said okay? Oh, yeah, good? All right, let's go ahead. Let's do it. It's a shuffle ball game. Let's see if Alex has it. Help him out, AG fans. There it is, right in the middle.
Welcome back to Bolt Stadium in Austin. 12 points to 3, the home side in the lead. Let's go down to the sideline now with Noxie. How are you holding up, mate? 20 minutes in this sun. Are you still with us?
We are AG. All right, Dan, I tell you what. Dan, we've got something pretty special here. We got you guys are coming from all over. This is like a family reunion. What's this about, Dave?
Exactly. Well, we're all brothers, sons, or nephews. We're all current and former rugby players, and we love the game.
All right, you guys have brought this guy from Oklahoma. You know, this is hostile territory. The Texas Longhorns are here, Dave.
I know, but we're all open-minded. It's just a great sport.
You guys all right with that?
Absolutely.
Hey, all right, well, enjoy the game. That's it. I gotcha. Enjoy the match, guys. Appreciate it, Dan.
Yeah, Noxie, not since the Boz has someone in an Oklahoma shirt caused that much ruckus in Austin, Texas. That's a brave man wearing an OU shirt in Longhorns country.
All family. Not sure how he'd fare outside of the stadium necessarily.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. Hopefully he's going to change a shirt for later in the evening. Back to the action, Austin. They'll have this scrum. It's been a bit of a concern, to be honest, Brian, that scrum for Austin this opening 20 minutes. Down it goes again. This time in their favour, though.
Well, it looked that time, Cortez going up against McIntosh and then changes his bind. Looks like he pulls him down, and that's why you see McIntosh go to the ground.
You're going backwards, and it's just coming out of it and going down. Yeah.
Keep your eyes, the battle right in front of you. There's McIntosh there. Watch Cortez. You can see him pull the shirt down on McIntosh. Just that adjustment in pressure and the grip of Cortez is enough to bring McIntosh to the ground. Rogan sees it and awards a penalty to Austin.
Isaac Ross
Isaac Ross brings it down.
tower of strength at the top of that line out as Cowley goes high to the waiting hands of Mires.
Back, one.
Vikilani.
No!
Chris Silverthorne and the entire staff up there very, very high on Tiaki Vikilani. Solid start to this game. Oh, speaking of solid, Mires on Morath. Times it to perfection. Now Austin with the ball. They've got some numbers here. You see a steep backline out to the left. Cowley dinks a little one over the top and finds the sideline on the halfway line. Let's take a look at this hit. Well timed.
Yeah, difficult sometimes to time this, and often you see a player have to check his speed before he delivers a hit. Mires just times it perfectly there. Gets Morath as soon as his feet touch the ground.
Ryan getting a little bit of work done on that right arm.
It's hard to keep the Irishman down.
Hold it, Cat. Hold it.
Paddy Ryan, you can see him still holding that right arm. He's going to play on, but
Stay there, two, stay there.
a prop without a working shoulder.
Stolen by Aquina, and it was Ryan on the lift as well. Cowley, another little kick over the top. Picking up the territory, and now Mires. Mooneyham gets one back for his number 10.
Mires had the hit on Morath just a minute ago, and Mooneyham times it perfectly here. Mires, just as he gets the ball. Again, well timed there.
You good? Take your time if you need, because we've got a scrum.
Mooneyham, what an honor to be named to the traveling squad.
Yeah, and if he can't
on the way to
trying to find, there's going to be an issue.
the UK for a few tests, 4th of July, and then the week after.
I think he's going to get some time too, looking at that squad that Gary Gold's named, and
So I'll give him a second.
comes out as the first ever first pick. So a lot of unknowns, right, coming out of the draft, and I don't think anyone could have predicted the impact that Connor Mooneyham has had in his first season of professional rugby. He's been simply outstanding when he's played.
And again here, it's execution. We've seen this, a couple missed line-out throws from Jack McRogers. Hard to tell whether it's the lifter, whether it's the timing, whether it's the throw, but it's twice now that Toronto's off the mark, and that just gives Austin another opportunity, especially with the work of Mooneyham on the corner. Puts Austin in a good position here.
It's ball to back and playable. Mooneyham comes in off the wing. Takes that one inside the 22. Austin get quick ball. Aquina, quick hands. Breitenbach, that one may have spilled forward. Yes, it has. So we will have another scrum here.
And this is the execution piece, Dan. Great move here off the corner. Mooneyham coming in from the blind side here. And the direct pass straight from Cowley. But here, it's Breitenbach, ball security. You can credit the defense there of Lesage. It's a good tackle, but Breitenbach's got to have that ball. He's got to secure it, and he's got to be able to deliver it back.
It's ball to back for Brody. Goes back. The pocket, and that one will find the sideline.
You can see Brody, he's looking at Luke Rogan, the referee, and he wants to get Austin for a pushing early penalty. And Rogan tells him, just put the ball in. Brody had some great minutes for Toronto this year, Dan, and he's one of those players too. We talk about Americans and how the U.S. has done a good job of discovering U.S. eligible players. Well, Ross Brody grew up in South Africa, went to Grace College down there, but his father is Canadian, so he's eligible for the Canadian team as well. There's a few players for the Toronto team tonight. One of them on the bench, Jason Higgins, Cork, Ireland originally, but Canadian father. And hopefully we get a chance to see him tonight.
No, away! No, you're on off your feet.
Line out stolen there by Toronto.
Use it!
The man you mentioned, Brody, just pulls this one to the back.
Behind.
Bob's kick goes down. Ramirez, he was jetting himself down that sideline looking for some retribution on Mooneyham. Doesn't get there in time. Now Halai. Come back to the middle of the field with McIntosh. Cowley, little opening for Cowley as he darts up towards the halfway line. Now Halai with another touch.
Bringing it back.
Nothing more than a penalty here.
That Toronto player hit.
Hard hitting game so far. De La Vega stays down on the field. Rumble getting a little attention. I think, like Noxie said, the effect of the heat in Austin is already starting to wear down on these players.
Just a collision. I didn't think it was malicious.
Mooneyham, and this is one of the reasons why he's getting a shot. It's the balance there. It's the desire to stay on his feet, never quit, try to bounce out of a tackle, get one more meter, buy some time for your support. And Halai does the same. This is what Cowley does. He may be delivering slow ball tonight, but you always have to watch him around the fringes. He's always looking for a little half gap.
So Vikilani come in on Ilan Padic. Still down, getting some treatment. Hit off the ball.
Just had a look at it, it's fine. No, it's penalty only. There's nothing malicious. It was a wrap tackle and it's hitting in the body. It's off the ball, it's a penalty, it's not a yellow card. All right?
Here you see it. Just keep your eye on Padic. Boom.
Yeah, Vikilani, watch the hit. Vikilani just absolutely lays out Zinzan Ilan Padic. The question is, was he an available option? Was there a dummy that he was potentially chasing? Rogan saw it, asked the ARs, the assistant referees, if they saw anything untoward.
If they're going to take a long time,
possible that Vikilani gets away with an extra hit there.
See what they can do with it.
Great take at the top from Ross. Jones.
McLean Jones keeps it.
Now McIntosh. Cowley with the little pop pass there of his right hip. Sublime stuff. Morath looking to create some magic of his own. Now Akina.
No,
His dynamic number 8. There's Ross. The numbers are starting to build to the left here.
No, step back for me, step back.
Dodson. That one spilt forward again.
Toronto advantage.
Interesting to see the statistics throughout this season on how many times Austin go inside the 22 and come away with nothing.
Look, there's a lot of ingredients for playing quick ball versus slow ball, but I don't like the speed at which Austin is organizing its attack, and it's slowing Cowley down from the back because he's looking for options, and it's given Toronto an opportunity to set up their defense.
Look to counter here through Halai. Now Ross, quick hands, more out to Mooneyham. Mooneyham comes wide now to Brayton Buck. Look at big Carl Brayton Buck into the 22. He's the tall, lumbering number 6. Now Halai. The Arrows have done well here. Check that. They've done fantastic. They've turned this ball over.
No! Away! Take him back.
Critical of Austin's decision-making in the 22. Give credit to Toronto that the pressure of their defence inside the 22 has been outstanding. Now Mason. Where's the 15 tonight? Let's see if the extra space
No, Sticks, no! Let it come.
serves the young Aussie well. Now Campbell. Little dummy. Before he finds support in Dodson. Now McIntosh back inside Whites. Spills that one forward. Ball comes down now with the Arrows. Maybe a little quick on the whistle there, and yeah, Tucalet, he agrees. I think maybe let the advantage go there. Toronto had players streaming through and possession.
You're getting a penalty for it. Calm down.
Hey, Ray, I hear there's some state champs.
So the break here by White.
I didn't think you'd get the ball back.
He's in for Patty Ryan.
Champs in the house, 4 points. Division II rugby team, state champions. They come out to visit us here at AG.
And then Brayton Bach.
You know, congratulations.
Early whistle from Rogan, but Brayton Bach, look at Brayton Bach. Needs some help, nowhere to be found. And then another execution error here by the Austin Gilgronis. Coetzee coughs it up. That's the 3rd turnover ball from the last 3 possessions. Now Rumble's having a hard day at the office. We've seen him a couple times, knee on the ground, getting some extra help. He's battling through. Coetzee with the throw here. Watch Ross go up and get that ball. Looked like De La Vega had a chance. But then watch Ross here. Picks up the ball. And then it just slips out of the grip. And, you know, maybe it's the heat and the sweat. But it's not unfamiliar to play rugby in heat and sweat. You've got to secure the ball. And Austin is doing a very poor job of that tonight. Yeah, I guess the bright side of the coin for the Gilgronis is that they are creating opportunities. They're getting in the right parts of the field. It's just that they continue to just hand the ball back to the Toronto Arrows. And for all the defense that Toronto has played tonight, they're still in this, especially if they can score before the half is over.
What a confidence booster that would be for the Arrows to go into the sheds. That one, an absolute mess.
Well, I think there was a couple things there, and it looked like the jumper's arm was interfered with as well. You could see that. You're not allowed to grab the arm of the person receiving the ball, and Ross just does enough to look like he's kind of clumsily competing for it. But that's a man with some experience, and he knows exactly what he's doing. Interferes with the throw, and he's lucky that it's not a penalty.
Maybe a little bit of sweat mixed in.
Diana now at the back of the scrum for the Arrows.
Fine. Set. Steady here, keep it up. We're going to reset it.
We'll reset it.
Reset. Last side. Last side.
Let's go, Phil. Let's go.
It's on. Reset it. Make sure we work to keep it up and keep steady, please.
Seconds. Seconds.
Put you down on it. Crouch.
Second reset here for the Arrows.
Binds.
Brody at the back
Set.
with the ball. And you see the Arrows platform, they're very flat. Mires comes in off the wing. There's the crash. Now they'll go again. Diana.
Stay there, stay there, stay there.
Well met by Halai. Quick hands. Oh, there's numbers. Tukelet! Tukelet, the Argentinian superstar. He gets the try, and the Arrows, just like you called, Brian, they're right back in the mix here with that 5-pointer.
And from one of the most stable platforms we've seen tonight in the scrum for Toronto. Easy ball. And Mieres, first receiver off the corner there, it gives Will Kelly an opportunity to stand outside. Now there's an extra attacker on the right-hand side of the field. Open side right there. The pass goes out to Tukelet. Lots of gaps there. And you see Breitenbach working across the field, but that's how you identify a mismatch. If you have forwards chasing backs on the wide side of the field, there's always going to be some room.
Struck well, but stays to the right. Let's go down to Noxie. Noxie, any more OU fans, or did you scare him out of the stadium, buddy?
Yeah, I think I got him out of the stadium, Dan. I did find ZZ Top right here. What do you think, huh? Not bad? Not bad. Actually, it's Daniel. He's a UPS driver. But, Daniel, you came out to one game this year. Never saw rugby in your life. Came out to one game. What happened, Daniel? What happened?
I was hooked. It's better than football. It's intensity. It's incredible. This is the most best sport in the world.
And you got the fans charged up. Let's see some of your... There we go. Daniel, turn around real quick. Turn around, turn around. Is that beard real?
Oh, it's real. Come pull it.
That is real beard right there. Not bad, Dan. Not bad. All right, get going, Daniel.
Apparently,
there we go. Mr.
Austin
Rugby
has
now.
scrapped the dress code tonight.
Well, I thought that was Mike Shepard. I'm like, what's Shep doing up in the grandstand? It's not. It's Daniel, the UPS driver, who's now a massive Austin Rugby fan. I love it.
Advantage to AG.
Now Campbell, a little stutter before he picks up Jones. Coetzee with a charge.
He's on the ball there, coming back.
Coming back. Earlier penalty. Interesting decision here. This is well within Kurt Morath's range at 12-8. Tough first half. I wouldn't mind seeing 3 points taken here for Austin.
Well, if you take the 3 and it's successful and it's a pretty easy kick from here, then you go up by a full converted try. And that is not what we're going to see.
I hope they prove me wrong. The execution inside the 22 has not been...
well, but
trying to think.
Let's remember the last
superlative that was too negative here.
Yeah, the last try we saw though did come from that Coetzee rolling maul.
This one though comes straight to the ground.
Stay here for me, guys. I'll move out of your way. I'm going to go this way. Yep. Stay there.
Cowley gets some numbers out. Quick reset there from McIntosh. Jones loops around off the hip. Now Dodson, little joggle there.
Tackles there, tackles.
Juggle there, sorry, from Morath.
Use it now.
This is where they seem to be becoming unstuck, Brian. It's once we get past that second or third phase from the set piece, things go awry for this Austin side as Cowley picks up White. Jerome White goes forward, flat pass. Could see with a little space in front of him. There you have it, another turnover, another penalty, and it's De La Vega yet again over the top of the ball. That back row for Toronto, unbelievable.
They've done well, but again, I'm like a broken record here, but we've seen this from Austin all night long. The first half has been marked by this inability to get quick ball and organize anything but a one-off runner off the side.
Mistake there from the Arrows. They do not find the sideline. Morath will go high.
Come out!
Bounce to the ball, sits up. Oh, pressure here for Toronto. Razor isolated, does well to pop up into the waiting hands of Kelly. Kelly, though, ragdolled by Akina as Austin swarm over the fly half.
On the body, not on the ball.
Now the Arrows clear, this time finding the line for certain. Just outside the 22 here. Austin may get the last shot before the halftime break, Brian.
You know, I mentioned before the game that Kurt Morath had to find the fountain of youth. Look at the old man get after it. Desperate defense, lots of pressure. And then Akina almost gets over the ball here, and the referee said he didn't have the ball, he just had the man. He almost had it perfect there. Would have been a turnover for Austin. Gotta love the pressure coming from the burnt orange right now.
That one tipped up. You can see the conditions of the ball. Cowley barely being able to get that pass out to his left. Now he comes down the short side again. Puts you with a touch. Akina slices through. Dom Akina, a moment of brilliance from the number 8, gets it done. And Austin, they will go to the sheds with a wet sail.
Well, Akina, multi-dimensional, one of the leading tacklers on the Gilgronis team. But he's so quick. He's got to be the fastest number 8 in the league from point to point. And he just sneaks through the defense here. No one's going to catch him.
Talked about mismatches. That time, Pat Lynott just caught flat-footed. And the athleticism of Akina. Not your typical number 8, is it, Brian?
No, he's got the speed of a back. He might be one of the fastest players on the field for Austin.
Conversion is successful. It's a big turn of events here at the back end of this first half. Austin will go to the break in front, 19 points to 8. Don't go away. When we return, we'll be back in the American Airlines studio with Stacey Pates and Mark Stabina. The MLR Halftime Report is presented by Geico, where 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hello and welcome to the Geico Halftime Report. I'm Stacey Pates alongside Mark Sabina. And in our first match of the day, Eastern Conference foes, Old Glory DC and NOLA, they got together for a spirited match.
I would say spirited is an understatement. Tempers were high at Segra Field between Old Glory and NOLA. It was as if the home crowd turned up to a fight and a game of rugby broke out.
Right.
Instead of the other way around. And yes, they were flinging themselves all over the field, not just off the ball, but on the ball as well. It was a physical encounter, and it was Capiello for NOLA who drew first blood and the first 7-pointer to the visitors. But then Palamo, with one of the best solo efforts you'll see of the season, came fighting back to draw the game at 7 points apiece. We knew we were in for a close game, ladies and gentlemen, and Mungo Mason gets the lead for the home team with his effort, 14 points to 7 now, and Hanno Dirksen, crosses over for a man-of-the-match performance as well, and that try to equalise at 14 points apiece. This is going to be a nail-biter right to the finish. We have a feeling already. It was half-time, and then NOLA came out firing through Dominguez. He scores. It's 22 points to 14. DC are running out of time. They get it to DeMonte Noble, who had a fantastic game. He scored in the corner, but it was too little, too late. The home team going down 21 points to 25. And this is how the statistic looked. OG, they had plenty of possession. They had plenty of territory. They had enough to win the game, but NOLA just held them off despite 20 penalties and 3 yellow cards. What an effort from the visitors.
Absolutely. And for NOLA, that was a great start as they will be on the road the rest of the way. More halftime straight ahead. Welcome back to the Geico Halftime Report. We have 3 matches loaded up for you on Sunday. You're not going to miss 1 minute because we have it all for you. 2 p.m. Eastern, New York, Atlanta. Then we have the Free Jacks Seattle. That one on CBS at 5 p.m. and LA, Houston. Finish things off on Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Let's talk about the first one, New York, Atlanta.
Stacey, we've been looking forward to this one. The 2 top teams in the East facing off, and similar points per game for the season for these two. So expect a close game. Dan Hollingshead's been great for New York as well, but he will be absent. So Chris Martina has needed to step in and try and keep up to pace with that 82.9% goal-kicking success. But Atlanta, what can you say about their defence? The dominant tackles, nearly 3 times as many as New York. So will that be a huge factor in the match between these two? Now over to the Free Jacks at home against Seattle. Seattle off the bottom of the Western table now, and they're looking to improve upon their position, as are the Free Jacks. They're in 3rd place in the East at the moment, equal points with NOLA. Now you need to be careful of Seattle because they love to throw the ball around. They prove they can score tries. They're just not finishing off their opportunities as much as they'd like. And the discipline for the Free Jacks, 11 yellow cards in the league. That's the most by far in the entire league. They'll have to improve on that as well. Now over to the LA Coliseum. It's the Gilgronis taking on Houston SaberCats. It's the top of the West versus the bottom, which could work in Houston's favour, being the underdogs coming into this match. So LA will need to be wary of that. But 33 points per game, what can you say about this team? They know how to score points and tries for that matter. 5 tries nearly per game. And the 83.2% Houston tackle success, while impressive, will need to improve a lot if they're going to taste victory tonight against the LA Gilgronis.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to see it all. Thanks for joining us on this Geico Halftime Report. More action coming up.
A Halftime Report has been presented by Geico, where 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. Today's presentation of Major League Rugby is brought to you by Rhino Rugby, the official ball and equipment of MLR. Visit rhinorugby.com for all your rugby needs. And OFX. The next time you are moving money internationally, try OFX.com.
Welcome back to Bolt Stadium. Halftime almost over here as the sun sets over Texas. 19 points to 8. The home side leads As we take a look at our American Airlines out-of-town scoreboard, one game completed already today. Nola Gold, their season is well and truly alive. Old Glory DC, well, they can start making plans for 2022, it seems. Utah and San Diego kicking off. That is a huge game, especially for Austin fans tuning in. That one on the Western Conference, and then tomorrow a couple of big ones as well. Rugby United versus Rugby ATL, a big one in the complexion of the Eastern Conference. New England, they can keep their season ticking along with a win over Seattle at home, undefeated at home, New England. And LA against Houston, the top of the West versus the bottom of the West.
Yeah, intriguing matchup at the top there with New York and Atlanta. Lots on the line there in terms of the top of the Eastern Conference looking for a playoff spot, and the Free Jacks nipping at the heels of both of them.
Let's take a look at the action from the first half here in this Week 13 game. Austin, they got on the board first.
Yeah, but they were slow to get out of the gates, and they finally cross over with a move there from Zinsan Ilan Pudek. They'll get another one here off the driving maul from the line out. Robin Coetzee with another try. Toronto, though, staying in the game, and they create some space on the corner here, suck in some Austin defenders, and then space opens up on the outside for Joaquin Tuculet. Austin adds one more from this dart from Aquina. But this game, Dan, could be a lot heavier on the scoreboard for Austin. They keep giving up the ball. Good carry by McLean Jones, and then a knock on there. Look where they are on the field, within 5 meters. Knock on there from Isaac Ross. And then Robin Coetzee. He coughs the ball up as well, knocks it on, scooped up by Toronto. This has got to be a concern for Sam Harris.
Those are our Geico halftime highlights as we take a look at the stats. And Brian, look at the territory and possession in particular, but if you go to the bottom, the handling errors for both sides have not been great.
Yeah, it's been just a lack of execution on both sides. They get in the right parts of the field, and both teams having a difficult time. And for me, the concern, we talked about this at the beginning, what does Austin need to do to look like a team that can score points and be a playoff contender? And so far, they seem a little disorganized.
Let's go down to Jim Knox, who's with the head coach for Austin, Sam Harris.
All right, thank you, Dan. Sam, what did you tell the team at the break? You guys are up 19-8.
Yeah, probably want a bit more points, but I thought the attack's working. We just got to treasure the ball, and we had a couple of carries there where it came loose, and we've got to make sure that doesn't happen this half.
I know you hate those turnovers, but that was a big key. You guys now should be up by a couple more points.
Yeah, that's for sure, and I'm a little bit dark on the try we let in. That was a bit soft too. So, but, you know, it's an 80-minute game, so plenty of opportunity to put more points on.
Key to the second half would be what?
Just work a little bit harder, outwork Toronto, and set earlier.
We'll let you go get a drink of water as well. How about
Thanks,
that?
Noxie.
Cheers. Got it. Dan?
Thanks, Noxie. Thanks, Sam. Body language tells you anything there. That's not a happy head coach, even though his side is in front, arms folded, looking very stoic.
Don't change. Around you go.
I think he understands the importance of what a win here with a bonus point tonight means for this Austin franchise.
AG in the mall.
That's one.
Moving the right direction.
Not too long ago, this Austin team, 0-16 in 2019. The transformation has been quite incredible as you see the stands behind you. More fans coming out than ever before to support AG. It's Tuculet now for the Arrows. Can you imagine in 2022 when the Arrows get back to Toronto? But that's going to be like incredible support up there in Toronto. And I'm sure they will absolutely pack the house when they get the chance to see their team back.
Yeah, I think that's one of the disappointing things. We talked about San Diego and how they started the season in Las Vegas, right? But they got to go home. Toronto hasn't gone home yet, you know, and talking to the San Diego players about their spirits after the Vegas thing, and I talked to Ben Mitchell, and he said, look, well, we're human, right? Like, it's got to have an effect. And since they've been home, they've become contenders once again. Toronto, I don't know how you move to a different country and play rugby 1,000 miles away from home and still find the source of energy every week to perform. They're a little bit depleted. They've got some guys that are going to be going off to the summer tour in a couple of weeks. It's just been a difficult road all around for these Arrows, but they got a chance here.
It's a good start from the Arrows. Passing from Kelly, finds some space. Brody to his right, picks up Kelly to the line, flat pass. Cortez. Let flat pass again. Under some pressure there. Here's the Arrows. Knocking on the door. Will kick through. Lesage floats it perfectly and then charged down. Big language, Yana. What a shadow that was over Pele Cowley.
Well, Toronto just looking for a spark. Ball off the top from Tomas de la Vega. And then back inside. That's a great move to the young winger, John Sheridan. Always love to see the wings getting involved off the corners. Just adding that extra attacker. And then here, I don't like the decision by Lesage here. You got good attacking ball, you've got good go forward. It's a desperate move to try to manufacture something off the boot there, especially when really, Dan, nothing was on. Why not eat the ball, take a phase, and you have the entire wide side on the right to work with.
Can you tell us a little more, Austin, about a blood sub? Yeah, the guy's bleeding. He's got to come off, get that taken care of, and he can come back on.
Tried to stem the bleeding quickly, couldn't do so, so now he'll go and get some stitches.
Well, they got a pretty good hooker in reserve coming off the bench, the form of Hugh Roach.
In and then I'll go time on.
Good Cam Dodson there. Good opening 40 from the lock.
Hold.
Guys across, another steal. Keener with a little bobble there, goes back, now pressure. Lots of pressure.
Stay there. Pass on! Is it?
Cowley, Shepherd, charge down, comes down into the hands of Ross. He could have gone absolutely anywhere, that ball off the hands of Mike Shepherd. Lucky for Austin, it finds Ross, and now Cowley with a little bit more space and time finds the sideline, but inside his 22. So you go down to Noxie, Robbie Coetzee, little cut on the chin. How bad are we looking?
Well, apparently pretty bad because what?
Yes, he's out. Yes, medical injury when you get knocked in the head. In international rugby, we have a head injury assessment where they can check him and he can come back. Not at this level, so they're going to go ahead and take him off for safety.
Blacked out, you're out of the game.
You're done at this level.
Thank you, Winnick, for the info. There you go.
All right, there you have it. Robbie Coetzee out for the game.
Knock on, scrum to AG.
Looks like the handling errors inside the 22 are contagious, Brian.
Indeed. And Shepherd, it's a good ball. Jones knows it.
Yeah, it looks good.
Real scoring opportunity as well.
See the eyes of Mike Shepherd there.
Yeah, not only that, but space in front of Spencer Jones.
Cowley comes down.
Stop.
Good clearing kick. Mason drives that ball downfield.
Toronto or Toronto? Good question.
Rogers now will have this throw.
Stay there. Stay there. 16 hold.
Tap back down. Brody, little juggle, does well under pressure there from Ross. McIntosh off his feet. Not even close to being on his feet, the big man.
No, he didn't tap it. Didn't tap it. Roll.
Penalty not rolling away.
The old man. I love the Jamie McIntosh story. You know, had one test cap for the All Blacks, and the scrutiny he got from home was, and his coaches from the All Black staff, was that he wasn't a good scrummager. And I think that got in his head a little bit, but he got a chance to go overseas and play in France. And then he got called up to play in the United States. And according to McIntosh, when he came over and he saw the passion that these U.S. players had for the game, it reinvigorated what it was all about, to fall in love with the game of rugby all over again, and it really extended his career. That's a man who's put his body through the grist mill. Surgeries on his shoulders, his hips, his knees, his feet, his ankles, and he's still going strong, and he's almost 40 years old.
Spencer Jones, but even with the jeering from the locals, makes no mistake. 19-11, the first points off the second half go to Toronto.
Austin better be careful here, because if they fall asleep in the next 10 minutes, Toronto's a team that can score quickly. They've got creativity in the back three. Mieres and Tukelet are world-class finishers.
Juggle there from Toronto, but Brody now bring this one across. Oh, good line speed from Austin. Up quickly. Brody charged down by Ross. Talked about the shadow of Manuel Diana moments ago. Isaac Ross.
Isaac Ross got his hands
Just
on it.
a very big shadow.
Use it. 6, no. Step back there. Use it.
Now the Arrows look to buy a little bit of real estate here. Brody brings this one back.
Stay there, 6.
Finds the sideline just on his own 22.
We saw this from Pele Cowley earlier. Now watch Ross Brody. He takes an extra step out to his right, away from the protection. You can see Cortez is lined up there to give him a pocket to kick, but he steps outside of it. Isaac Ross is huge, and he reads that, and because he's a right-footed kicker, both Cowley and Brody have made mistakes on their box kick, and they've given the opposition a chance for the charge down. They got to stay in the pocket and use the protection that they've got and get that ball off quicker.
There is that man, Isaac Ross. At the top, comes down now Roach. As he feeds his inside centre and Bryce Campbell. Now Cowley will come to the right. Akina. Try score at the end of the first half. Diana's got up a little wobbly there from that collision with Akina. Two number 8s colliding. Now Morat, little pass. Breitenbach, oh, sublime skills. As he dots it down. Was it forward though? That's the question. Luke Rogan, he's got no problem with it. And the AG strike right back with a 5-pointer, and that is the bonus point.
As Breitenbach is crossing the line, you can see Rogan look over at his assistant referee to check the pass and make sure it wasn't forward. It's a beautiful flat pass, and the defender runs through the passing lane and gives the option to Breitenbach. Good carries here. Akina just finds a way to gobble up an extra meter. Lerome White with another good carry. And then watch Marath here. He waits for the defender. It's Lesage comes out of the line, creates that gap, the space for the pass. Watch number 13 once again, shooting out of the line. Boy, I don't know about that pass. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And Dan, I think Austin gets away with one there.
Toronto turnover on the kickoff. Little kick through. Ramirez. Doesn't quite get there off the kick of Jones. There he is, Kurt Morath. Speaking of legends, Jim Knox, what do you have for us?
Okay, I want to tell the people at home, if you ever come to Austin, Texas, you got to check out, of course, rugby, but also the music. This is Jenny Dugas. She is the executive director of the Austin Music Foundation. And this is the live music capital of the world, right, Jenny? And you guys are celebrating next year a 20th anniversary. How about it? For the folks back there watching, this is the place to be for live music.
This is the place to be, and we've been bringing live music to every home game at Bold Stadium since March, and it's just been amazing for us. We have really enjoyed this.
Yeah, your relationship with the Austin AG rugby team has really done really well. Look at this. You got a check of $30,000 tonight, and that was a halftime presentation. Congratulations to that, and congratulations for everything you do with live music around this great place.
We are so grateful to the AG organization, to Mike Sheehan, the general manager, and to all of the fans. This is a game changer for our organization, especially after the last year with the pandemic. This means everything to ensuring that we continue supporting our local music community.
Great to have rugby give back to the live music capital of the world, and good to have you here, Jenny. And you can deposit that, I guess, on the way home through the drive-in.
Take this right over to the bank.
Yeah, perfect. There you go, Jenny. Thank you. Appreciate it, Dan.
Thank you, Noxie. Make sure that you, me, and Jenny, next time I'm in Austin, we'll go take in some of the live music down there.
What a hard year for Austin. So many people expecting over the years to show up, get the best live music in the country. It's opening up again, Dan. Well, here's Mieres. A little pop to his buddy, Tucalet. But then ball comes to, it looks like Diana. Just a little bit of a miscue there. Feet get tangled, ball gets coughed up.
Good push there from Toronto. Austin do well to get that out quickly as Mason drives this downfield into the waiting arms of Mieres. Now Tucalet as they come wide. Lesage. Benny Lesage drops his shoulder and takes it up towards the halfway line. A little interference at the back there from an Austin player on Brody. Goes unchecked. Now Brody, little box kick. Looking for some space in the corner. Ball sits up for Morath. And Morath, he will find the sideline. The number 10 defending at 15 from the Kingdom of Tonga. What a player he has been. Another one alongside McIntosh, who has spent a lot of time playing over in the US.
Yeah, we saw Morath first lineup for Utah years ago. Plenty of good rugby left in those old legs.
See Andy Quattrin on the field now. Canadian hooker wearing the 16 for the Arrows. And Shepherd spills that one forward. Hodson kicks through and finds space. Ball will sit up though for the Arrows. So return fire downfield over the head of Mooneyham. This one heading to the sideline. What a kick that is. Toronto Arrows off the boot of Tucalet. A monstrous pickup.
Watch Tucalet. First he fields the kick, and then he gets away from Hodson. Left boot. Makes it look easy here.
Well, MLR fans, the Rugby Network is here. Make sure to sign up for the free service at therugbynetwork.com. And if you miss any matches this weekend, they'll all be available on demand on the Rugby Network, as well as other great highlights and behind-the-scenes content, such as that man, Lerone White, running 70 metres last week, untouched.
What a great story. University of Kentucky. You don't hear about a lot of great rugby coming out of Kentucky, but that man is trying to change the story. Spent some time in South Africa under the tutelage of Tendai Mtawarira, also known as the Beast. Those two became good friends. They got a chance to play against each other last year when the Beast made an appearance here in the U.S.
How was that one not called straight? It was the latest whistle on a line-out. Isaac Ross pretty much caught it over Pele Cowley's head and called in. So, Toronto, watch this throw again here. It's reaching the wrong way.
It looked like Ross was even surprised that there wasn't a whistle.
Everyone kind of stopped. Now an opportunity here, as you mentioned, Jason Higgins already. Canadian heritage.
Set.
We saw Tendai in limited capacity with Old Glory last year. One of the marquee signings for the league. How did Lerone find himself down in South Africa?
Yeah, I believe it. He was identified through his work in the college landscape. And then, as so many players in the U.S. will do, is try to seek out a country where rugby is a little bit more established, more resources, more tutelage available.
You've dived on him, Rob.
Come out here again, Quattrin. Driving his way towards the try line. They go again, they lose the ball. Must be something about this end. Oh, Lerone White almost getting loose. A carbon copy. Now the penalty goes to Austin, and people very unhappy on both sides with how that finished.
Hey, hang on.
We're going.
Why can't we all get along like circus people?
Time off.
I'll have to take a look at what spilled over here.
Lucas, stay here.
Captain, I think we're going to need to talk.
Cross. Yeah. Bring your 18. Come here. Come on, Mel. Okay. The original penalty is going against you for side entry and taking the player without the ball.
Okay.
All right? I do not need you coming in after I've blown the whistle and starting that up. Sorry. Okay? We've spoken pre-match. This is not how we're going to play rugby. I don't want to see it again. Clear? Back you go.
No hard feelings, everything's good. Get the penalty and get back underway here, Brian.
Yeah, and this is how close Toronto has come to the line. Look at the line right behind. And again, it's ball security. It's trying to do too much individually and not securing the ball.
Oh, yeah. Into the side on Hodgson there. And a little push and shove. Brayton Bark, he's stepping in for his teammate, making sure nothing else happens.
Let's go. Get it in.
A few pleasantries exchanged. It's a little relief now for the players. The sun has set here in Austin, Texas. As we enter the final 20 minutes of play here at Bold Stadium. 26 points to 11. Home side with a bonus point already.
Twice, use it!
Kick goes down. And Spilt doesn't stay in the field of play. It will, however, be an Austin line out
They want to go quick. Referee Luke Rogan will have none of it.
That was about a couple inches away from being a gift from Jason Higgins. Can't find the handle. Great shot. The camera angle at how high that ball was in the Austin sky, and Higgins trying to bring it down. Almost leaves that ball in the field of play.
Thank you, Tom.
Dodson this time with the take as they begin to maul this ball up to the 22. Roach has it at the back. Boston could go a long way to shutting this game down with another try. Hodson takes a little peek. Spills that one outside the 22.
Yeah, let's do the water break. Have water, water break.
On that mistake, we will take a short break here at Bold Stadium. When we return, the second half concludes. 26 points to 11, the home side in control. Today's presentation of Major League Rugby is brought to you by Rhino Rugby, the official ball and equipment of MLR. Visit rhinorugby.com for all your rugby needs. And OFX. The next time you're moving money internationally, try OFX.com.
Welcome back, Austin, Texas, Bold Stadium. Argentinian legend, Queen Chocolate. Maybe a youngster looking to emulate the great Argentinian there, Connor Mooneyham. Into the final 20 minutes here in this Week 13 showdown between these West Coast, East Coast teams. Some more changes coming in as we see Jason Higgins with the put in here. Good platform for Toronto. As Kelly goes wide. Now Mires. Back to the center of the field. De La Vega with the touch. Kelly under pressure. Oh, Hugh Roach.
Hugh Roach with the hit.
Little juggle, little hesitation there from Kelly, and Roach makes the number 10 pay. Chocolate. Slow ball for Higgins, he'll kick. Mason safe underneath it, finds Morak. They shift the ball from right to left. Now Akina with some space. Look at the speed of Dom Akina. The 8 on his back, but running like a winger. Dom Akina, individual brilliant, 7 points. His second try off the game.
You know, Dan, I was just about to talk about how neither one of these teams has found a way to get the ball to the corner and find some space. And it's because you got to put your number 8 on the corner, apparently. First, it's the hit by Roach. Watch this on Will Kelly. It's a pass that goes behind his hip, and so he has to turn. He never sees Roach coming. And then Akina. just cherry picking. He's loitering out on the corner because he's got Mike Shepard in front of him. That's a mismatch. It's a mismatch with Aquina on almost anyone on the field. But if you're trying to contain him with a lock out there.
You see the 14 in Sheridan. Oh, number 8, it's okay, I've got him.
Yeah, it's a forward. I can tackle him.
Next thing you know, Don Aquina runs 50 under the post. As Austin extend 33 points to 11.
Another flying Hawaiian, Dom Aquina. He's been good tonight, 2 tries.
You throw him in the mix. There's some unbelievable Hawaiian talent playing in the league. You know, the names jump out: Lance Williams, Sam Wuching, Vili Tolitahu, Dom Aquina.
Penalty. Not releasing. Penalty, Toronto. They'll look for the...
Now the Arrows will have to go quickly here as they find themselves down 22 points. Take a look at our guaranteed rate try summary thus far for tonight's match, and a lot of burnt orange in that list.
Yeah, and you know, some of this, it's interesting because we talked about how many more tries potentially that the AGs could have tonight, but Toronto's also squandered opportunities as well. We've seen them, we just saw them a couple minutes ago, literally on the line and cough the ball up. Lots of personnel changes for this Arrows squad. Just dealing with lots of hardship, as we mentioned before. But they'll watch the film from this and they'll see opportunities that they missed.
Here's the question, Brian. At this point, if you're Chris Silverthorne, you know you're about to lose half of your team for international duties. Do you just blood as much talent as you can, bring some players in who are on the fringes and say, this is your chance to play for a contract in 2022? How do you approach the final few weeks for Toronto?
I don't think he's got a choice. I mean, he's losing so many players to the national team. If every Toronto Arrow goes on the tour with Canada in July, that's been named to the Canadian national team, then the Toronto Arrows' entire team, in essence, gets decimated. So, yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity. Get some players a look.
Oh, picked off. Look who it is. Look who it is. Go, Larome. Put down the gas, and not going to catch him this week. Oh, the Rugby Network, they had an absolute field day. They are going to lose their minds over this. The servers are going to shut down. Larome White, he's picked it for 7.
Well, you know, not only a great player who continues to get better year after year, but he's also such a great personality. Bright smile, a warm human, a great teammate, and a little bit of gas in the tank. You don't see a lot of props going the distance. Another 5 more meters, and he might have been tackled before the line, but good on you, Larome.
How about the meters gained for Larome White in the last 2 weeks? He's just blowing all the records out of the front row. That's lovely. Is there a greater sight in rugby? Sure, the double-digit players, they look good in open field. But when you see a 1, 2, or 3, it's just gorgeous. (40-11) now. The whistle blows here at Bolt Stadium for a high shot.
Because Larome took the ball in between the uprights. That's automatic. 7 points. No conversion necessary or required.
Parfrey will go to the corner here. The Arrows got to find some positives out of this.
Line out, Toronto.
Big fella sucking in the big ones now.
Well,
game tonight. San Diego, Utah, the Legion in front, 14 points to 3. That game in Herriman, Utah. This win for Austin becomes even more important now. It gets them closer to Utah. It also keeps them ahead of San Diego, who are sniffing around that top 2 spot. Come wide. Bumping run there. And the Arrows. Tiggins goes quick. That one spilt forward. No advantage. He'll come back for the penalty. Just rumble there.
There's some tired bodies out there. You know, there's also the body language. You can see the facial expressions on the Arrows players. You see the body language on tired bodies. Exhausted by the heat. And nearly 30 points down.
Launches that one to the back. Comes down to De La Vega. I'd love to see Tommy De La Vega get a try. His work rate, his effort tonight for the Arrows, just outstanding. Tradesman-like as always. This one off. That was the new signing. David still coming through there. We thought Lerone White was fast. You wait until you see Still if he gets into the open space. Significant moments coming up here. This will be Austin's first win in franchise history over Toronto. So 0-3 coming into this one. They target their first win. Unfortunately for Toronto fans, this would be the worst losing streak in franchise history for them as well.
You know, looking forward on the schedule for the AGs, and you know, next week it's Seattle, and the week after that they got to go to San Diego and play at Torero Stadium. And, you know, next week's no week off. You know, with the resurgent Seattle team as well, you know, they may be down and out in terms of the Western Conference standings, but that's a team on a pretty good trajectory right now. Almost took care of Utah at home a couple of weeks ago, Dan, and just no easy games down the stretch.
We'll learn a lot about Seattle tomorrow when they play New England. Up there in New England, long road trip. Alan Clark making some changes up in Seattle in his short time there, but they have definitely looked a much stronger outfit underneath the tutelage of Alan Clark.
Well, it's a team that's been looking for an identity for a while too. You know, I think as I say that, you know, that's something that Toronto is also experiencing right now.
Diana off the back, opportunity here, shoot goes low, the flick pass from Diana. It's Dean backwards. Is now Toronto. Again with the ball. Wide pass, quick hands, Lesage over, rolls and jots it down. Benny Lesage, he'll pick up 5 points for the Arrows. And there's a little fight left in the boys in blue and white.
Well, we've seen great defense tonight in certain phases from Toronto, but that has kind of been what this midfield for Toronto has been relegated to, is basically defending all night. Haven't seen a lot of line breaks, haven't seen a lot of ball in the hands of Jones and Lesage. And it's a good combination as we see it play out on the screen.
Conversion
Unsuccessful, 40 points to 16. Let's go down to Noxie. Again on the sideline. Noxie, 10 minutes left, buddy.
Dan,
what are you
time
seeing?
for the fan of the match. It's got to be James. Hey, a former University of Texas baseball player. They're playing super regionals about 20 minutes away. And you could have been there tonight, but yet you just got engaged. You chose to take in your very first rugby game. Why, James? Why?
We just wanted to get out and support AG. We love rugby, and we're so excited to celebrate our engagement at a rugby match.
And you couldn't be anywhere else, Lauren. You could be at anywhere, 6th Street, but yet rugby, and you're having a time of your life in the stands.
Amazing. Love it.
We love rugby.
Love rugby.
Hook 'em horns.
Hook 'em horns. There we go. Fan of the match right here. Having the time of his life, Dan.
That's right.
James may have hit some home runs playing baseball, but I think marrying Lauren could be his greatest.
I think it was probably Lauren's vote to get him away from the baseball stadium tonight, get him into the rugby match.
Yeah, well done, James. Batting average went way up on that one, buddy.
Indeed.
With the touch, line out, AG.
Look at that, the definition. Tough right there. Lucas Rumble. Liking him to Samson from the great fable Samson and Delilah. Things have not gone well for the Arrows since he cut his hair.
No. You know, put Rumble and Shepherd side by side. And it's in true Canadian fashion. They look like they just got out of a hockey game.
Looks like to the front row here. I see Jamie McIntosh getting his jersey back on. Keep going. Goes to Dodson. Shoot, picks up still. That just charges into the line.
Nice touch from David Still.
His first touch of Major League Rugby.
Toronto now rolling away.
Morat now will put this one into the corner.
AG will line it out. Pretty deep in Toronto territory.
Dan, we talked a couple days ago about Austin and trying to figure out what is their style of play, what is their bread and butter, what's their go-to. And I still think tonight, after watching them play, I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to accomplish at different stages in certain territories on the field. If you're Sam Harris, you got to be comforted by a good, solid win, a bonus point victory. The execution that they've lacked tonight is something that can be cleaned up.
We talked about New Orleans, Brian, their stretch, all on the road. It's the same for Austin after tonight. They don't have another home game. They're going to have to get it done away from home. It's been a tough year for teams traveling in the MLR. In particular, the West Coast teams haven't fared well when going east.
It's been interesting hearing from some of the foreign-born players that are used to traveling around New Zealand, Australia, and just how far it is in the United States to get from one city to the next. And, you know, you go coast to coast, 3,000 miles, hours on an airplane, and it's something that a lot of these players are unaccustomed to, and it takes some time to adjust to.
You think about players who've come from the UK, they've taken a bus everywhere, even at an international level. England plays Wales, you take a bus. Chris Robshaw. You know. Now all of a sudden, yeah, you're jumping on a plane, flying coast to coast. It's a challenge. Roach, opportunistic. Hugh Roach, back yourself. Roachy for the corner. And there it is, the exclamation mark for Austin. AG's dot it down. Hugh Roach off the bench. 2 intercepts from the front rowers. They're getting it done, Brian.
Maybe that's the new strategy. You just take your forwards and you string them out in the backs a little more often.
Steals it. He steals it.
I mean, it's good, but I don't know if it's Lerome White try good. A little change of pace. Look at Roach.
Goose step there.
Huh? He had the look inside.
See the speed machine, Roderick Waters. He took off at the same time. I was waiting for him to get there. He was already down there.
He started in the locker room and still caught him.
Oh, the locker room. The rehab come Monday morning with Lerome White and Hugh Roach telling the stories. Yeah, those tries are going to be good. Now Morath. Oh, the strike from Kurt Morath. Sweet indeed. 2 extra points. And this has been a much better 40 minutes here for this Austin side. I thought Sam Harris looked a little grumpy after the halftime break with Noxie, and I think that may have been a few hard words said in the locker room at halftime, but they've certainly answered. They've responded to that.
Don't forget fireworks and autographs after the game, so don't go anywhere.
Well, it's been a mixed bag tonight. Squandered opportunities from both sides. Teams wilting in the heat. A road-weary Toronto Arrows team. You really got to respect the job of Mark Winokur in Toronto. Trying to be the glue that holds this team together.
The lessons learned of 2021, this squad the majority will stay together next year. Surviving this, coming out the other side with some positives, like this right here, as they pick up another try. This time, Mitch Richardson, his first touch is a good one as he dots it down in the corner. The lessons that they learn, Brian, can be used next year.
Well, classic midfield move here. You see, the fly half starts directly behind the scrum, goes to the right, freezes the defense. Ball comes out to the left side. It's just a 2-on-1, well executed by Toronto, and a good score for Richardson.
Great finish from Richardson. The lead-up work from Tukalet, again, just showing his class. A little jink in and then out to bring in 2 Austin players before putting away Richardson.
To the other side of the field for the fireworks.
Now Jones
get a better vantage point
look to convert from the sideline into the setting sun over the western plains of Texas. No good. 47-21, you would think that will be how this one finishes. Unless Jake Turnbull wants to take an intercept 80 metres. I may have to put the headset down if that happens.
Well, you know, not to harp on this too much, but this tale of kind of 2 Toronto teams, at the beginning of the season, Dan, some of the scores: Toronto 53, New York 12. They were 52 points against Seattle, 7. And this is a team that scored often. They seem to be exerting their will on other teams, and the wheels just have fallen off.
Again, similar to what you said about San Diego. They're rugby players. They're hard men. But at the end of the day, they're human too. They need contact with their loved ones, with family, with familiar surroundings. You went to a World Cup in '99. You remember what that's like, to be away that long from just your surroundings, from privacy, from your own headspace.
And there's got to be more going on. I just, you know, Manuel Montero out for Toronto, one of the most lethal finishers in the game. Dangerous in the air, dangerous on the ground, a good tackling wing, a good finisher. You know, you start stacking up the injuries, you add the other compounding factors, and you end up with really a completely different operation.
The young Sid Shoop with the put in. That one spills out down to Mooneyham. Mooneyham down the short side, no one home, little kick through. This is the effort we see from Mooneyham, but Richardson will beat him to the ball. And that will wrap things up here at Bold Stadium. An emphatic win, 47-21, as we take a look at our Geico moment of the match. Well, I couldn't have it be anything else but this, Brian.
Hey, look, there were lots of ugly moments in this match, but this is a thing of beauty. Lerome White from the 22-meter line, the intercept, and just enough left in the tank to get it down.
That wraps us up here. When we return, we'll be down on the field with our player of the match, Austin, 47, Toronto, 21. Today's presentation of Major League Rugby is brought to you by American Airlines, the official airline and travel partner of Major League Rugby. Geico, where 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. And Guaranteed Rate. You can make your dream home happen. Get started at rate.com today.
Welcome back to Bolt Stadium and the recap brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. 47-21 Austin, convincing winners here tonight as we go down on the field with Noxie and our player of the match.
All right, here it is, man of the match, Dom Aquina, 2 tries on the night. You guys had plenty of points, 47 on the night, Dom. And you get a kiss right there, a victory kiss right there by Cal.
Yeah, it was awesome. We worked hard this week. We talk a lot about AG pride. I mean, last week, Giza was talking about it, but we really had to come out today. Practice was tough with the weather, but I mean, being with the boys, grinding day in, day out, I mean, that's what we work for.
I got to ask you about LaRom White. I know you guys can be getting on him all week long. You're not going to hear enough about his big try run. I mean, did you ever imagine that big guy can run that long? You had to bring out the oxygen tank.
Well, I mean, last week, you seen what happened last week, so we had to make up for it. But LaRom, he has that speed in him. He just needed his chance. Yeah.
Very nice. Congratulations, man of the match, Dom. Congratulations. Big victory by the AGs. One of the key reasons why.
Thank you, Noxie. Congratulations to Dom McKenna, the entire AG side. Brilliant performance. And Brian, a much-needed win as they stay well and truly in the race in the West.
Yeah, and they cleaned it up a little bit, and, you know, they're capable of hanging with any team in the MLR. Execution mistakes are correctable.
Absolutely. For Brian Hightower and entire crew, I'm Dan Power. This has been a presentation of Fox Sports.